How was your weekend?
Well, actually good. Yesterday played football Italy versus UK, and
Okay.
we win.
Oh, all right. Congratulations for that. That's awesome. That's great. That's great. Okay, Jwala, that's wonderful. Well, the things here in Pakistan, they've been quite boiling. The weather is like, very, very hot. But like, yesterday, since yesterday night, it has been raining. So yes, it's pretty, pretty cool now. Okay, that's wonderful. And so your entire weekend just went for watching football.
No, not only this. I went to church,
Okay.
like, and I hang out with some friends.
Okay, that's great. And by the way, where do you like to go with your friends on weekends?
Um, I would like to go with my friends to pub or um, I live in Sicily,
Okay.
and so there is the sea, beautiful sea, some beautiful places, some beautiful beaches,
Beaches. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Beaches.
beaches.
Yep.
So I love to visit place here near my zone.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, so today, Jwala, we will be starting talking about weather. All right. So as I told you, that's going to be part one. It's going to be part two, and it's going to be part three. Okay. And Jwala, in part one, it's just going to be very random, basic, basic question answers, just like I would say warm up question answers. All right. And then moving
Okay.
and then moving further in part two, I will be asking you a main question. All right, there will be a question, and that question will be followed by two or three different smaller questions. All right, and after asking you all of them, I will give you 1 minute to prepare, and then 2 minutes to answer me for all of them. All right, and then heading to the part number three. In part number three, the questions are going to be exactly same like part one, but you have to answer based on some facts, figures, some reasoning, some examples. All right. I hope you got the point. A little bit logical answers, right? And then we will switch to another exercise at the same time. All right.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so uh, question number one from you, Jwala. What's the weather in your country?
Actually, the weather is. You mean right now or in general?
Well, in general, that can include right now as well.
Well, in general, here is very hot.
Okay.
We can reach something like 40 degree.
Oh, all right.
So we need to make sure we have air conditioner, so we can have fresh places, fresh homes with nice hair. Hi.
Wow, that's great.
Um,
I didn't expect it
yeah,
that Italy is going to be that hot and Sicily is that hot. I thought, Italy is a kind of part of European countries, and I thought it's going to be a little bit, moderate temperature, like, somewhere in between, not so cold, not so hot. But it's exactly hot like here in Pakistan.
yeah, we are really near to Africa, so
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You guys are also near to Pakistan as well, so yeah, I think that thing matters. That thing definitely matters. Okay, great, great. All right, let's move to another
yeah.
one. Okay. Yes. Do you want to add something to this answer, or you want me to move to another question?
Um, well, actually, the thing here is that the winter is really short time.
Okay.
You can start to feel the heavy temperature. TV in term like hot, something like hot temperature from like February to till October. So you can understand that we have a really short time for feeling
Cold.
cold weather.
Okay. All right. Now, you can say the same sentence. You can say the same sentence, Shola, in a very different way. Okay. You can rephrase or
Hmm.
you can paraphrase your sentence by saying this thing that, so you can say that we really do not get enough time to enjoy the winters. We really,
Okay,
we really do not get enough time to enjoy the winters.
okay.
Really
We
don't.
really don't we really don't have enough time to enjoy winter.
Okay. Enjoy the cold weather or the winters. All right. Okay.
Winters with S
Yes, winters with
or
us.
winter
Winters with us.
with with us. Why
Okay.
with us?
Why? Well, you see, to complete the sentence in accordance, because you are like, rephrasing to a complete part of a sentence. So at that place, you have to like, put the S in the between in the end. Because you see, first we have like, the a very, small peak of winters. And then in the December, it goes a little bit higher. So let's take different stages
Okay.
to explain the different stages. All right?
Okay.
All right. Now moving to question number two. All right. So tell me this thing. Does the weather affect your mood?
Um, the weather is don't have so much impact on me on my mood, but in general. But maybe there will be some days that the weather have a big impact on me, big influence on my mood, on my decision. Uh, sometimes I say
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
um, something like it's about the rain, it's about the sun. I don't feel too. I don't feel good because the sun is not here with big rays.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have the good words to describe it, but it's something like if the sun is not so much visible,
Okay.
the the day look like grayish, like a grayish
You,
day,
you want to say like a dull day? Dull. Dull.
dull.
Dull means like it's not such a fresh day when you don't have enough sunlight, or when the sun is like hidden because of clouds. All right, it's a cloudy day, right? So
A cloudy day, yeah.
a cloudy day. So how do you feel in cloudy days? Like does cloudy days really affect your mood? They like
Yeah,
do they really like affect your productivity? You become less productive in the cloudy days.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so can I say this thing that you do not like rainfall, or do you like rain?
Um, Maybe I'm influenced by um, the high temperature here in Italy,
Okay.
so I tend to prefer winter time. But because I said to you that weather in general doesn't influence my mood,
Okay.
but maybe there are some days that where my mood is influenced by weather. So if we have a cloudy day, maybe
Okay.
I can be, I can be moody.
Well, of course. For example, it's raining here right now. No, it's not exactly raining, but it's quite a little bit quite cloudy. It was raining last night. So yes. I would definitely relate that. My morning was a little bit lazy because you see, I'm a kind of a guy who has a kind of a morning routine, right? I like to wake up early in the morning. I like to go in the kitchen instantly and grab a cup of coffee, right? And still I'm having another cup of coffee, right? So and from the starting from the morning, I start working a little bit on my YouTube channel, and I start working to schedule my rest of the day, that what classes I'm going to have with which students, and what I will be teaching to students. So I'm a kind of a morning guy. I like to do all these things early in the morning, like a productivity YouTuber, or you can say that. but
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, can you please describe your morning routine? Like, how are you in the normal days? Yeah.
Yeah, I wake up like at 7 a.m.
Awesome. Great.
I do a wash. I wash myself. A shower. I do a shower. Shower. Wash. I,
Shower. I take shower.
I take a shower.
Okay.
And after that, I do my breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really lightweight breakfast, like some fruit, or sometimes I only drink water.
Okay.
Um, After that, I start to study. I have exams coming. I have the 29 of this month. I will graduate, so I have the last things to do.
Okay. All right.
So in general, I'm really active in the morning. After the lunch, I take time to relax,
Okay.
and after that, sometimes I don't have the energy or the motivation to get out of my bed.
Okay. All right. I completely can relate to that. And that time would be approximately between 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in between that, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Really, that's deep for me. I don't know if I use the right term,
Which
the right
can you please
word.
repeat? Can you please repeat the word?
Um, um, mm, that's evil.
Destive.
It's sensitive, like
Okay.
mm, um, yes or no.
Oh,
uh,
decisive, decisive.
decisive. Okay.
Okay. I thought there. I haven't heard of word decitive. Okay, I was like looking into dictionary. I said what's that word decitive? I have never read that word before. Okay, so you're like quite undecisive.
Decisive.
So at that moment you are quite undecisive, not decisive. You're quite undecisive. That I'm feeling tired, but at the same time I have to study. So like you cannot decide between getting some rest or continuing your study path, right? So
Yeah.
that is being undecisive, not sure about what to
Mhm.
do, what this or that. All right.
Actually, what I mean is this time between 1 p.m. 3 p.m. Is
Okay.
really this
Lazy time.
decide. Yeah. If I'm not if I'm not get up at 3 p.m.
Okay. All right.
exactly,
Okay.
I will not get up.
Oh, all right. So can I ask you this question, Joala, that how much time do you need rest in afternoon? Like, after having your lunch, because at the afternoon, like after 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., when I wake up early in the morning, like, 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. So while and after working for like, several couple of hours, like, 4 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours, I really feel hungry because exactly I also eat very very less in the breakfast. Maybe sometimes water, of course, water is very necessary, water every day, but every day cup of coffee, maybe with a few biscuits. or maybe not even biscuits, maybe someday a toast, a bread, something like that. But coffee and water are must every day. So by 1 or 2
Yeah.
p.m. I kind of like feel hungry, and after feeling hungry, I do pray, because we have to pray at 1:30 sharp in Muslim countries. I don't know, varies from like different countries to countries, right? So I really feel tired. I really feel tired. So what I do is that sometimes if I have a very busy day, I'm having busy day today, I'm taking your class at this moment. So what I exactly do is that I only take nap for 30 minutes, not more than that. I only close my eyes, and I've learned how to sleep quickly, by watching some YouTube videos. I watched and I've experimented this thing, that how you can sleep within 2 minutes. And I I tried to do that, and then I'm completely passed out at least for 30 minutes, at least for 30 minutes. So those so that 30-minute nap really helps me out. And when I wake up after 30 minutes, even I'm not falling into that deep sleep pattern, but after those 30 minutes I feel completely wide awake, complete fresh. So that's how I manage. And exactly same thing I used to do when I was studying my undergrad, my electrical engineering, because of course I also had exams back in those days. So yes, it was quite hard to manage the time and everything back in those days as well. So the nap.
How old are you?
I'm 24. And you?
Yeah, 25.
Oh, okay. And you are a master student or an undergrad?
Master student.
Oh, master student. All right, all right. I thought you were still in your undergrad. I think we had a little bit confusion that day.
Yeah, no, I'm a master student. I took the first degree in computer science.
Okay.
My master is about data science, so machine learning, artificial intelligence, data analysis, these kind of things.
Wow. All right. That's awesome. I mean, we can have one day a podcast with each other on YouTube, maybe, because I have also studied a subject back in my bachelor's in my last semester. It was artificial intelligence. In that, we got an opportunity to learn a little bit, basics of Python, basics of supervised, unsupervised learning, decision tree making,
Yeah,
clustering, if I'm not wrong. So I think that these are all the parts of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and how you can make algorithms. Recommender system, YouTube's recommender system. How does that work?
yeah,
What kind of algorithm works at the back? Decision tree. I never understood how does the decision tree works. So I was quite confused. It was quite confusing back in the days for me. So yes.
yeah. The season three are not so complex. Maybe I think it's all to the teacher who take the lesson, the class. So maybe if you have a good teacher, he can try to explain in a certain way to make sure all the students understand really deep the concept behind um, um,
The
like
fundamentals, the idea
decision
behind
tree.
decision tree. Yes, you can use the word that every student can understand, the idea that how the decision tree is actually working. So that's how you can say that in English. All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Furthermore, going, yes, and I also believe on this thing as well, Joala, that theoretical explanation does matters. Like I think maybe 30 to 40%, especially when you are studying topics like decision tree, supervised, unsupervised learning, clustering methods, right? I think what really matters here is that practical implementation, really coding and really making the code work, whatever language
yeah,
you're using. We were using Python back in that time, right? It was October 2019. Yeah, I remember that time. So I mean, we really had a really less exposure of coding in the laboratory in real time. So they were kind of quite fixed, or I would say very little programs that we really coded back in the time. So I think coding really matters a lot. Like practically implementing, because when you see the code running in front of you, then you really
Yeah, with
understand.
examples.
With examples, yeah, exactly. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you do in machine learning? Do you train the algorithm in the machine learning just like supervised learning?
Yeah, we actually we fine tune the models, the algorithm, so we can train the models to work really well with data not seen by the model before when training. The main idea in my course is
Okay.
to better understand theory, and after that you can start to code. So we have a really good understanding of the mechanics, the algorithms, and the hyperparameters involved in the machine learning. If you had to make a regression
Yes.
or a classification or clustering, you have some type of parameters
Okay.
you have to fine tune. So this is what I do exactly. But this is the only little thing. Don't have the words to describe it. We This is a little part of the main
Good. Good.
master. Yeah, the, the main content of what I study. It's not only machine learning algorithms or um, laboratory associated. In fact, we study either cloud, the integration of you can make inference with machine learning in the example a mobile device, but you can make inference on cloud. So you have to study how you can send
Okay.
data, process data, and so on.
Okay. So can I ask you this question? That what was your final year project when you were passing out your undergrad? In undergrad,
Pardon.
yes. In your undergrad degree, what was your final year project, like your thesis?
It was a combo of mobile apps
Okay, that's great.
called Uni Lesson.
Okay.
You can understand something by the name by itself. Um, Uni Lesson is a portal for students who want to take classes or some time with older students who can make out like teacher. So I don't know if you are studying right now, but if you are studying and you are good with English or what else you do, you can choose to make lessons,
Okay.
private lessons, and I search you on this portal. You have a mobile app for the student, a mobile app for other students who can try to make lesson, who wants to make lesson.
For
And
example, sorry to interrupt you, Joala. For
yeah,
example, like Skillshare, like platforms like Skillshare.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you see a lot
But
of content creators like make a content and their lessons and their courses on Skillshare. by making video lessons. Yeah, please continue. But
Yeah, it's something created with a framework, mobile framework,
okay,
when in time it was really new. It's called Flutter. I don't know if you maybe
Flutter. I did heard about the word
Flutter.
Flutter. Yes, I did heard the word
Flutter.
Flutter. Yeah.
It's a really good programming language. It's something you can start to without having any background, because it's very easy. For me, I had background because we had um, the degree made by 3 years. So
Oh,
after
okay.
3 years, I had good knowledgement of main concept of programming. But I think Flutter and Dart, that is the real programming language associated with Flutter, it's really easy to understand
Very
for
good.
beginning,
Okay.
for people who are at first attempt.
Okay. For example, moving a little bit further, I have a question for you, Joella. Is it really a stereotype or what? I want you to like unwire and explain me this stereotype. A lot of programmers and a lot of the computer science students say this thing that, for example, Apple laptops, all right? Apple laptops, for example, I'm talking about Mac, okay, MacBooks, all right? They are much preferable for coding as compared to Microsoft laptops, or like the laptops who are running Windows instead of Macintosh. So can you please like unwire and explain me this thing that how Macintosh is better than Windows environment for to learn any code or to like if you're a computer science student or something like that, or it's just a stereotype.
I really think this is a stereotype, because you can for coding, you can use even a mobile phone, even an iPad, because if you're starting with a programming language like Python, that for a beginner is the best option.
Okay.
You can use tools like Google Collaboratory. That is an environment where you can you can input your code, runs very very well, very smooth.
Okay, wow. Is it a cloud
So
computing service like by Google Collaborator? It works on cloud.
yeah, you can
Okay.
use the resources of Google servers. So the GPU, the GPU,
Exactly.
and even TCPU, um, for free,
Yeah,
for free,
absolutely.
up to 12 hours.
Oh, all right. Like
Hours.
they allot you the slot for like 12 hours. Like you can use them for 12 hours per 24 hours. Like 12 hours for a day, and then next day again 12 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's that's pretty interesting, by the way. And I have been really very interested. I have been really interested to like to learn to make iPhone applications or maybe iPad applications. All right. But at the moment, I have a Microsoft Windows environment. Is it possible to code the iOS applications by using a Windows laptop? Because
Yeah.
now how? Okay, now this is the main question, right? Because I've always heard from people, no, you need to use Swift, and Swift is only available in a Macintosh. So I was like, oh, all right, that's sad.
Well, actually, the main thing about using a Flutter for my how you had called my under degree, you called.
Undergraduate, undergrad degree.
undergrad degree. Okay, the main factor why I used Flat language for framework for my undergrad degree.
Okay, all right. You can also say for your
Is a
bachelor's courses. You can also say your bachelor's degree.
bachelor
Yeah.
bachelor for my bachelor's course is because Flutter framework is a cross-platform. Cross-platform means that you can write on the code, but
Okay.
will work both on Android and iOS. So you don't have to develop two application, but only one. And with some tips, you can enroll the no, you can deploy your application both in Android and iOS. So Flutter is not the only one framework or tool
Okay.
for
All right.
making cross-platform application. We have also there are 100,
Yeah, of
but
course
we
there
have
will be a lot. Yeah.
React Native. So there are many options to make an application for iOS, even if you are using Microsoft PC or even Linux. So it's all a stereotype.
Very good explanation. I was having a student, he was from Ukraine, right? So he was a ethical hacker, he told me, right? And the environment, the operating system environment that he used to use back in Ukraine, it was a year ago, yeah. He said he feels much flexible using Linux. I told him that, in one time in life, when I first time bought this laptop, the one I'm having right now, the default operating system on this laptop was Linux, Ubuntu, right? And I really don't know which version it was, but it was like, exactly same, something like, Macintosh environment, right? But somehow I was not expert in that because I had never chance, like, to use a Linux environment since my childhood, because we have been using, like, Windows since Windows 98, then Windows XP, then Vista, then 8, then, like, 7, and then now 8, and then 10. So it was quite hard. So he was telling this thing that it's quite easy to, like, hack, or, like, to learn this ethical hacking, because Linux is quite fast. I was like, all right, I've heard a lot of people say that before as well. And he was, of course, from Ukraine.
Yeah, for hacking, ethical hacking, or pen testing, penetration testing, Linux is the right option to
Oh,
choose. Yeah, there are some Linux release that are centered in this kind of things. So hacking, ethical hacking, open testing.
absolutely. Great. Okay.
So I understand it, and I agree with your student.
Okay, that's good. Now, heading to part number two. Heading to part number two. Now, describe your favorite weather. Okay, that's the main question. Describe your
Mhm.
favorite. Describe your favorite weather. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Now here are the three questions. Okay, that you have to answer. What the weather is like. Number one. Number two. Why do you like it? Okay. Number three. Where you can experience such weather conditions. Okay, you got
Yeah,
all three of them.
yeah.
Okay, now,
Uh,
Jola, you have 1 minute. You have 1 minute to prepare your
okay,
answer. Okay, your time starts now.
okay.
Okay, Jola, are you ready?
Um, Almost, but I
Okay.
can start.
Well, you want time, you can take time. This is the first time, so no problem. You can take time.
No, no, no. I enjoy to random tell something.
Okay, Jola, now you have exact 2 minutes to answer me all these questions, all right? And if you think that you can speak a little bit faster in a very good fluency, okay, then you can add a lot of other points as well, no problem, all right?
Okay.
So your time starts
So,
now.
my favorite weather is when there is cloudy or raining time because I love it. It bring me some memories and it's really good to stay inside the bed with a mug of chocolate and watch some Netflix movie.
Okay.
Or when you're with parents or um, something happened.
Okay.
um, in Christmas time with family. Out there is the rain. I really enjoy. Um,
Okay.
a place where I can find this weather is here in Sicily, but in the closest window of winter time.
Okay.
But I think this kind of weather is also available. I don't know if available is the right term with word. Um,
Can you please repeat?
Available in UK.
Yeah, can
Yeah,
can you please repeat the term that you said that I don't know whether this is right or wrong, that I could like give you the right
available.
available.
I
Okay.
said. I don't know if this weather is available in UK where we stay for I don't know some
Yes, it's
time.
right. It's right. It's
Uh,
right. Go on. Available. Yeah, you can use this word. Okay.
yeah, sometimes I use words that I think are related to what I do. So
Yeah.
I don't know if as so, like term.
For
For me,
example,
term is like word.
yeah, you can also say the same sentence in a way that I really have no idea whether I will be able to experience this weather back in United Kingdom or not. But I hope that I will get a chance to experience this weather. Okay, because weather is something which is
Yeah,
experienced, right? So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
like you in the other meaning, you can talk about the availability of the weather, right? Because for example, if you talk about South Africa, so I'm not sure that they do enjoy the snowfall. The snowfall is available there or not, so it's probably not available. So you cannot experience that weather over there, right? So experiencing a weather in a country, yeah, that could be also used as a right word.
yeah.
Okay.
Uh, so uh, um, I don't have anything else to say, or
You are
I
still
have to continue,
you
or
are still left with 30 seconds. You are still left with 30 seconds.
so I wish to experience
Oh,
this
good, 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 good. Okay.
this weather
All right.
in UK where I will go, and I wish also I can spend time with some friends in UK with time because I love to walk under the rain.
Okay. All right. But okay, the time was absolutely up right now. Okay. Okay. So there's a little bit contradiction. There's a little bit, contradiction. Okay. Before you told me in the very starting of the class that the rainy days do make you feel a little bit lazier, right? And now you're saying,
Stop. No, stop. I said, in general,
okay,
weather
all right,
doesn't
okay.
affect me. but there are some days
Okay.
that rainy day bring back memories. So I love this kind of make me feel nostalgic.
Oh, all right.
So
Okay.
um, um, this is um, the thing. But I like rainy day. Affect me, but I like it.
Okay, all right, okay. I take my words back. The guilty's all mine, all right? You do like the rainy days, all right.
Yeah, I thought
Personally,
it might be at first sign to be a little bit, um, as we said, contradictory.
yeah, contradictory, yes. It was a little bit contradiction.
Contradictory.
Yes. Well, to be very honest with you, last year in 2020, I was living in another part of the country in Pakistan. I was living in the northern region of the country. So you see, in Pakistan, if I really have to describe how the weather is, in the usual days, so I'm going to describe in a way that there's a northern part of the country and there's in the southern region of the country, right? In the northern part of the country, you will enjoy very cold weather, all right, and very, I would say, how can I like you can say that weather that it's quite rainy, it's quite cold, and especially in the December, it also snowfalls in that part of the country in Pakistan, right? Whereas in the southern part of the country, it's hot as like like a tropics, like it's completely a tropical weather in the southern part of the country. In some cities, it boils, especially in my city as well, where I'm living right now. So last year in 2020, I was living in the northern region of the country for one complete year. It was a beautiful city. The city was like was surrounded by this beautiful valley of mountains, which was having greenery on the mountains. So I could call them very very big hills and mountains together, right? And especially when it was December, it was the middle of the December, and winters were at its peak. So I did saw it did not snowfall because I we were just a little bit below the snowfall level, right? We were like at 4,000 feet. Yeah, that place was at 4,000 feet above the sea level. But still, just due to that fog and that dew, DEW, dew and fog. So in the morning time when I woke up, when I went downstairs in the garage, so but you have noticed that dew on the car windshield, like that foggy thing, just attracts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dew become ice on the car's windshield. Even it was not raining, but it was very very freaking cold. So yeah, that's some part of Pakistan that you will love to come, love to travel, love to enjoy, because now a lot of travelers and a lot of tourists are coming, and since a couple of years, since this terrorism kind of thing has dropped quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we have a lot of travelers from around the world. And if you really want to enjoy the Brazilian part of Pakistan, you should visit the southern region of Pakistan because it's really, really boiling here. And very, very less rainfall. Well, I personally, I think, it's because of less plantation, a lot of deforestation, because people really do not care that they should also do a lot of forestation, like they should plant a
Yeah.
tree, and unfortunately the southern part of Pakistan it's almost bald, like very very less amount of trees here, and that's why the rainfalls don't come quite often. We don't have rainfalls quite often in the southern part of the country, whereas if sometimes we do have rainfalls, but of extreme levels. I think this is because of global warming. If it's cold, it's extremely cold. If it's hot, it's extremely hot. If it's rainfall, it's
Yeah.
the rainfalls are very very extreme and very very bad. So yeah, I mean the whole cities get flooded sometimes.
Any bomb rain happens.
Okay, are you talking about the bombs? Like boom bombs.
Rain.
Oh, rains.
Bomb rain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a flood, a really
Thunder,
heavy flood of rain.
thunders. You're talking about thunderstorms.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we do have thunderstorms. We do have thunderstorms especially in the northern part of the country where I used to live before, because it's a lot greener than here. So there are a lot of bad thunderstorms over there, and sometimes here as well. Like a couple of years ago, I think 1 or 2 year ago, There were a lot of bad rainfalls here, quite bad thunderstorms. Like the roads, the roads of even the urban cities, they were flooded with the water. So it was quite bad. It was quite a bad situation, to be very honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the last question from part three. All right, Joel. So, uh, does air pollution affect the weather? What do you think? Now that's the part three, and in part three, you have to like present some reasoning. Okay.
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 Well,
Right, Joel. Are you ready?
um, no, almost, but I try.
Yes. Go on.
So, yes, I think pollution uh, have an even impact on the air in general. Even not even in particular in the
Okay.
city because with cars, with smog. In general, air pollution make the air not breathable at all.
Okay.
So we have to um, use masks that are not really enjoyable accessory to dress to yeah to dress and but I think that it's not um, doesn't have an heavy impact on
Okay.
the green zones because where the fabric not fabric fabrics the um, industries are where are not where the industries are not established. Um, the weather, the air pollution is not so present.
Okay.
So
You're
I
right.
think that air pollution, where like into the woods or distant from the city or the industrial zone of the city, is not a really a big problem. For in general, is a problem, but in the city, I think um, is a big problem. But out of the city, you can live better without a face mask. If you consider that in
Absolutely.
Japanese area like Tokyo,
Okay.
everyone wear a mask.
In Japanese city, or you can refer to it that in Japan, in a lot of cities, for example, take an example of Tokyo. So people in Tokyo, they do wear masks even pre-COVID and post-COVID as well.
Yeah, yeah. So, like in Japan, in Tokyo, in the city of Tokyo, people wear a mask before and after COVID. So, being a pollution is a problem in high industrialized areas.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do agree with that. And even, whenever we friends go outside now in Pakistan, so usually we have this conversation with each other that, well, yeah, we know that we have to like take care and, follow the standard operating procedures of, to fight with this COVID-19 wave, right? This pandemic, right? But at the same time, we believe that our atmosphere is already so polluted that it doesn't matter as whether it's COVID or not. But I think we should wear face masks to like to prevent
Yeah,
our lungs and to prevent our like nostrils from like getting all the bad dust going in the nose and everything. And a lot of European countries, I do not particularly know about Italy, but a lot of European countries have did signed this treaty that by year 2030, all the European countries will are going to switch from combustion engine vehicles to electric vehicles to EVs. I don't know
yeah,
how true is that, or whether Italy is part of that agreement or not. But because my final year project, we did made an EV, right? We did made electric vehicle in my final year project in my undergrad. Maybe someday I'll show you the pictures, right? So
yeah.
yeah, of course, why not? So yeah, that's the thing that I've like read on internet in an article.
What?
That's something that I read on internet in an article that by year 2030, a lot of European
Yeah,
countries,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think Italy, as an European country, will join the program. I'm not into it,
okay,
but I once read something about this, and in
read. I
general,
once read because we're talking about past
right,
tense. I once read, yeah.
yeah, I have a little issues with verbs.
No problem.
um,
Okay,
and I think I was saying here in Italy there are some electric vehicles
okay,
um, like a car, mm, train.
okay.
I don't know how they're called, like mono. Um, um, is is a
Motorbike,
vehicle with only what?
motorbike.
No, it's not a monobike. Yeah, maybe a monobike.
Okay.
It's something with only two. Uh, how
Y-
they're called.
Are you
Um,
are you talking about unicycle with only one wheel?
no,
Okay. Okay. What was it? What is it actually? Is it an
it's
electrical
something.
bike?
It's not an electrical bike because you don't have to
Motorbike.
to
Pedal, 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 pedal.
pedal bike, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, that's something I've heard for the first time. But like, if you're gonna send me a picture, maybe on email.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's not right call. I don't call it with the right name, but
Okay.
I'm sure you have seen before because many years ago this was not electrical, was mechanical. So
Okay.
you put one feet on the platform, and with the other one you make the step. So you have the acceleration to proceed. Now it's all electrical, so you turn up, you put all yourself in this platform. It's like a rectangular platform with two Um,
I know what you're talking about. I know. It's kind of like electrical skateboard, right? It's like in a
yeah,
horizontal
yeah,
shape.
skateboard, like a
Yeah,
skate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You stand on it with your feet, and with the motion of your feet, like you can accelerate.
No, this is the answer board. Maybe it's called like this.
I completely forgot what
But
you call it.
at the I don't know how it's called, but at the you put your hands
Yes,
on
I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. Yes, I have seen it.
here,
Now,
here in Italy. At every angle, you can see one of these. They are rent, so you scan with your phone the QR code.
okay,
You pay something,
okay,
um, and this vehicle start to
to run.
to to run. Yeah,
Okay, all right. I have exactly seen, and I've seen quite of these in like in a lot of YouTube videos, and especially people use these in malls, in factories, and they
yeah,
yeah, exactly, they are available for the public as well. Like if you kind of gonna pay, like public e-bikes, like if you're gonna pay your card, swipe your card, like you have to charge something for 24 hours, like for a couple of hours, and you like can ride on them.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look for the exact name, and you also look for the exact name and tell me tomorrow. What do we call it exactly? Okay. All right, Jola, my dear friend, thank you so much for having me. I think we're done with today's session, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Okay?
Okay. Do you have some feedback? This is the first lesson. First.
Absolutely. Yes, this is the very first lesson, so it's going to be too early to give a feedback, okay? But I would say this
Okay.
thing, that Jola, do have your exercises, the ones I gave you, right? For example, reading before coming to my class. Do read, English literature or anything regarding to English literature from anywhere. Your books, newspaper, Facebook, anywhere. Just one page of any novel maybe, right? So like to just give you a quite
Okay.
a good frequency, quite good flow of speaking in English, right? Because that's what we're working. You see, to be very honest with you, this is first class. It's not going to be an honest opinion by myself, but to be very honest, okay, based on these, I would say 58 minutes, 160 minutes, we had a session like this in 60 minutes, right? So what I think that your English is good. The problem comes to process the tenses, especially the verbs, right? The tenses,
Yeah.
the verbs, right? And you need to sometimes think and then respond.
Okay.
We have to eliminate these both things, all right? That we will be doing with other exercises as well at the same time, right? So do give a reading, do give a little bit reading, and be a little bit talkative in that perspective.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, cool,
I
cool.
wish to to be better, to do better.
For sure, why not? You will be. Don't worry. We have a lot of time, right? We have still 2 weeks to go, right? Then I'm gonna see you tomorrow, all right? At the same time today when we met, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we just
Okay.
changed. Yeah, we just changed a little bit of our time, all right? So I hope you have no problem with this time. Let me just
No,
find
no,
out.
no.
Okay, Italy, Rome, and the usual class we'll be having at yep 1 p.m. Right?
1 p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah, for me it's right.
1 p.m. Italy time. Okay. All right then, my dear friend. Then I will be seeing you very very soon. Okay. Bye bye.
Tomorrow. Bye
Tomorrow.
bye.
Bye bye.